What's going on, silencers? Cass here, and today is my first ever attempt at a podcast. Well, that's not entirely true, but this is my first attempt as Control Alt Silent. So if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things, and thank you very much to my patrons for your ever-present support. Now, this podcast is just a simple Q&A. You ask a question and I'll find you an answer. If I don't know the answer, then I get to learn something, and that benefits us both. You can ask anything from personal to political, and honestly, anything in between. My policy on information is I'll answer a direct question, and if you have the balls to ask a question, you have the responsibility to stomach an answer. So if that sounds acceptable, and without any further ado, let's get into it. Today's question, submitted by Clueless God 97 on my Discord, has to do with the existence of extraterrestrial life. The question, exactly, verbatim, is how do you feel or think of extraterrestrial life? Being we're this small rocky body with oceans and atmosphere in a solar system, in a galaxy, in a universe of millions of galaxies, which holds their very own solar system with planets and moons within habitable distance of their stars. This is, of course, a fairly philosophical question. Do I believe that we are alone out there? No. But it was said best, I believe it was Neil deGrasse Tyson actually, said that there was basically one of two scenarios. One, we are the first to evolve this far. Unlikely, but given the age of the universe, what is it, some 13, 14 billion years, something like that? We're the first to evolve this far. So there are alien lives out there, just not as advanced as the other is that we are one of many. And none of us have come across each other, or they've come across us and realized that we're no more valuable than we look at cattle. So, do I believe in extraterrestrial life? Absolutely. Do I believe in little green men? Fuck no. As far as I understand, and as far as science understands right now, we have basically one form of known life, carbon-based life. Granted, amongst the carbon-based life, we technically have three subcategories. We have chemosynthetic life, like extremophiles or bacteria and things like that that live around black smokers and volcanic vents under the ocean. We have uh, mammals and things that respire, that do respiration. And then we have photosynthetic. So chemosynthetic, photosynthetic, and us. That's what we know about life. The extremophiles on the ocean floor would indicate that life can be very alien, even on our own planet. So it would be extremely remiss of anybody with a brain to think we are alone in this universe. Now, that being said, I think that I can clarify just a little. I don't know if any of you know of this, but there is a principle in Russian called the Shkala Kardasheва, and it's the Kardashev scale. Nikola Kardashev in 1964 came up with this idea of numerically representing the technological advancement of a civilization. Basically, there's a lot of math involved, but type 1 civilizations would be capable of using all of the available energy of their home planet. In that scale, the Earth and humanity is currently at about 0.7 of the Kardashev scale. We're not quite there yet. And by that, I mean a level 1 society, a type 1 civilization would be able to control weather patterns and other things in a more mutable manner than we can right now. Right now, we've got our fingers in a lot of things, but we're not quite there yet. A type 2 civilization would be capable of harnessing all of the power within their solar system. So they would be able to create Dyson spheres or mine asteroids, pulling them out of their orbits and into better orbits for mining and extraction. Multiple planets would be inhabited by type 2 civilizations, or at least outposts would be very feasible because we'd have access to that energy. We're nowhere near this. Type 3 civilizations would be able to control something as large as the galaxy. That would be kind of like in Men in Black 1 when the aliens are throwing the marbles around at the very end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Um, that would be something like a Type 3 civilization, being able to move an entire galaxy just because it's in the way, or being able to snuff out a star because it's too bright in my living room window. That kind of. Then Carl Sagan, amongst others, have expanded upon that to a Type 4 and a Type 5 Kardashev rating. The Type 4 would be capable of controlling the entire known universe, and a Type 5, theoretically, would be able to control the multiverse. Now, why do I bring this up? I bring this up, but I'll give you another example of what I'm trying to hint at. If an ant on the ground looks up at a human, what does it comprehend? Oh shit, that's really big. And that boot's coming towards me. I'm about to die. What do you think that ant knows about taxes? What do you think that ant knows about calculus? Nothing. That's above it. That's beyond it. It literally cannot fathom that existence from where it is. In fact, it may even be such that ants don't even notice our presence. Sometimes, obviously, they're intelligent creatures. They're one of the best colony insects in the world, arguably. That's a discussion for a different time. But if they can't even comprehend our existence, what makes you think we're any different? Looking out into the stars as a point 0.7 type civilization, there could be extraterrestrial life in our own galaxy, in our own backyard, as close as Alpha Centauri. And we'd never know it if we saw it. There could be a Type 2 civilization out there that has literally snuffed out stars that we have watched blink out of existence in our night sky that are very much still out there. They're just being harnessed by their civilization. There could be a Type 3 civilization out there that has moved us out of the way of cataclysmic events in the galaxy, super solar radiation, things like that. Or it could all be shit, and we really are alone in this wide open universe. But as Clueless God 97 pointed out, there are a lot of planets within what's called the Goldilocks zone of their stars. And that means it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just right to have liquid water, which is one thing that, as far as we understand, is required for life to exist. Carbon based life requires dihydrogen monoxide, H2O, water, in order to do everything. Responsible for making sure that your cells can move, that your cells last. Even creatures such as tardigrades still require water on some level. So, extraterrestrial life is probably out there. As old as the universe is, it would be really stupid to say we're the most advanced or that we're alone. I believe that there is life out there and that life looks exactly like us. You would never know a Martian from a human or a Titan from a human, somebody from, Titan, one of the moons of Jupiter or something like that. Triton, sorry. You would never know a difference between the people unless you looked on a physiological level that somebody born near Jupiter would have to deal with higher gravity. So their bone structure, their density would eventually be more than, mine. And somebody born on Mars wouldn't have as strong of a heart as they would on Earth. So, without that slight physiological difference, which by the way would make us aliens to each other, somebody who lived on Jupiter their whole life and then came to Earth, they would technically be an alien. Arguably semantics, but you get what I'm saying. So, out there, some distant planet, planet 3 of the Alpha Centauri uh, quadrant, there is somebody making a YouTube channel, making a podcast right now, probably answering this exact same question for his people. But he looks just like me. Probably has a few less pounds because Shadow My Ass is 80 pounds, but I digress. There is life out there. Is it hostile? Maybe. Are we hostile? Absolutely. Are we intelligent? It's arguable. Do we have stupid and useless people that we allow to live? Yeah, absolutely. Do you think any other civilization would be any different? Sure, they might have to deal with different quadrupeds. Maybe they don't have anything of the equine variety. No horses. Maybe no canines. Things like that. Sure, those might be different. We've learned that life can evolve very differently. But we've also learned that bipedal, intelligent creatures typically take the top of the food chain. I think it's stupid, but they do. So chances are pretty good that if there are people out there, there are aliens out there. They look just like you and me. They make just the same stupid mistakes. They may even have taxes to pay and drugs to take and, I don't know, suffer from depression, anxiety, all that stuff. All of that is not unique to us. And we're not as special as you think. Just a speck of dust in the universe. Well, Clueless God 97, thank you very much for the question. I hope that answered your question. And I hope that you all enjoyed. If you want to submit a question for my review, join my Discord. There's a link in my bio. Or send me an email at controlaltsilent@gmail.com. That's CTRLALTSILENT@gmail.com. Or send me a DM on Twitter. My Twitter is at controlaltsilent. CTRLALTSILENT. And let me know when you do ask your question if you wish to remain anonymous, or otherwise, I'll give you a shout out for asking an amazing question. There's no such thing as a stupid question or even a stupid answer, because even an answer that's wrong teaches you something. So I thank you very much for listening. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I do hope to see you in the next one.